Well, this is going to be an unscheduled video here on Vic's V8 Videos, and I'm going to call this one Stuff Happens and You Have to Deal with It. So, a couple of things happened this past week to the 40 that, like I said, I'm going to have to deal with. But one problem when you get an old car, no matter how old it is, unless you have its total history, which is a complete impossibility in most cases, you don't know who did what to it and when they did it and why they did it and how they did it. Well, at some point in the 40's life, somebody installed a cheapo glass pack muffler on it, and it sounded okay when I first got the car, but as time went on, I started getting exhaust fumes in the car, and so I decided to crawl underneath it and take a look and see what was going on, and found a big old hole in the muffler. So I looked for an OEM muffler to no avail. I couldn't find one anywhere. So I called the folks at Brockman Mellotones, and they made a muffler for me. Now, the muffler that they made is 10 inches longer than the muffler that was in it, but it still has room to go in the car. So, like I said, and I don't have a lift, so it makes it a little bit tough, but I checked underneath, and I saw clamps on either end of the muffler to the tailpipe and the exhaust pipe, and I thought, well, maybe they just clamped it and I'll luck out, but I was half right. They put the clamps over it, and they only welded the bottom side of it, so that's another adventure. But let me show you the muffler that I got from Brockman's, and you'll be able to see what that's like. That should be a nice muffler. It won't sound too loud. It'll be a mellow muffler. So that's that. And the other thing that happened with the 40 was I was about to put the top down last Saturday afternoon, and it's a vacuum powered top. So I was in the process of lowering the top when I heard a snap, and one of the top irons that goes from the, I don't know, for lack of a better term, the superstructure in the rear quarter inside and runs along the top rail inside here, snapped. So that's something else I'm gonna have to deal with. But in the meantime, I also got a call from a friend of mine who is restoring a 40 Lincoln Zephyr Continental Cabriolet similar to mine. Only lucky for him, his car came with a Columbia 2-speed rear axle in it. So he didn't have any experience with a Columbia, and he asked me a couple of questions about it. So I thought, well, I'll address those questions here on the YouTube channel, and maybe somebody else can benefit from my limited knowledge on Columbias. So I actually have a Columbia for the 39 Lincoln Zephyr, and I don't know if you can see it on the video, I doubt it, but it resides under the 53 Ford right now. But here's a couple of other pieces for it, and these are unique to the 39 Lincoln Zephyr Columbia. This right here is the vacuum switch. It looks like something Dr. Frankenstein came up with. But the black piece here, this actually bolts to the top of the steering box in the car. It has a couple of, actually 3 vacuum ports that go into it. And it's kind of a Rube Goldberg setup, but it works. The other thing, which is rare and very hard to find, is this piece. Now what this piece has a connecting spot right here. This is made specifically for a mounting position on the 39 Zephyr's firewall. What this does is this speedometer cable runs down to the transmission. The other side here, this cable goes through, well, that's the cable connection, but the cable runs through there, through the firewall, up to the back of the speedometer. And what this does is through this series of clips and corresponding pieces on the switch, it changes the gear ratio in the speedometer so that when you go into overdrive, it decreases your RPMs, but you can increase your speed. So what that does, theoretically, it gives you your actual speed when you're in overdrive. So I guess that's probably the easiest definition I can give you. So, and later, this transmission right here, this is a 49 Mercury transmission with the Borg-Warner overdrive extension on the transmission itself. That came out in the Lincolns, I believe, in mid to late 42, and then 46 through 48, all the Lincolns, if you ordered a Columbia, came with the Columbia 2-speed rear axle. After that, in 49 and up, they switched over to the Borg-Warner unit, and again, that's that piece right there. So I hope that gives you a little bit more insight into Columbias and all the fun we have playing with old cars. So hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please comment and subscribe and hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.